Today on Your Voice, Your Vote, an exclusive tour of the state's historic state capitol after 9 years of construction. Here's what it looked like last year. You'll see what it looks like now. One of the most popular spots in the state capitol reopens to visitors.
They haven't been into the Rotunda since 2022.
This is the Rotunda under construction. We'll show you how it's changed. And you're looking at a picture of the Oregon Capitol where there's something missing. Voice Your Vote starts right now.
From K2 News, this is Your Voice, Your Vote with Steve Dunn.
Hi, everybody. Great to have you with us on this Sunday, October 19th. This morning's program is going to be a little different. We are taking you on an exclusive tour of a building that's filled with the history and symbolism of this state. It's the Oregon State Capitol, now 87 years old. The People's Building has been undergoing extensive construction work for the last 9 years. While it's not done yet, much of the Capitol that was off limits to the public for almost 3 years is now open to visitors, including the awe-inspiring Rotunda. Here's what the Rotunda looked like during construction. You'll see what it looks like now later in this program. The work that's been taking place is called the CAMS project. The goal is to make the Capitol accessible, to upgrade mechanical, electric, and plumbing systems, and enhance safety for the people who work and visit the building, especially in the event of a massive earthquake. We have before and after video for you. Let's start with what the Capitol looked like 16 months ago. Here's a snippet of a segment we aired in 2024.
Usually the expression we get from everybody is wow.
CAMS project superintendent Josh Faulkner hit the nail on the head. Wow is exactly what I thought as he led members of our production crew under the Oregon State Capitol for a tour.
That flat plate right there, yeah, that used to be the basement floor.
Protecting the Capitol during a major earthquake requires a tremendous amount of work around and underneath the building. Crews have excavated 15 feet below the original basement floor level as part of the third phase of what's called the CAMS project.
33,000 cubic yards of soil taken out.
And support structures like these temporary steel towers had to be put in place.
So that was actually the first thing we built, and that was over a year ago, just to hold this building in place so that we could start building everything underneath of it.
What they're doing underneath the Capitol will protect it from an earthquake.
It's got to be something when you look at a project like this and you think, man, this is going to be a little overwhelming. And then once you get into it, I mean, look at all the stuff you've done so far. I mean, that's incredible. It must be just mind-blowing.
This is the most technical project I've ever been involved in, and it's one of the most innovative projects in the country.
So what makes it so innovative?
Well, we are holding up the state capitol, and it hasn't moved any more than 1/8 of an inch, and that's been on these stilts for over a year. So, and then how do you build a foundation of a building that already exists, especially one as heavy as this? We've had to figure out how to hold all of the marble in place, make sure that it stays, because you didn't want to skin the entire building, take all that weight off to have to put it all back on. So everything that's been engineered right now is the entire weight of this building. So it's pretty innovative, and it's going to withstand a massive earthquake.
Would you say so far that things are going according to plan?
I would say better. Really? Yeah, when you put a building like this, any building really, on a temporary foundation, you expect some movement. You expect some things to settle and creak and things to pop out of place, but that has not happened. No. This design, Pacific Foundations did an incredible job. All of the subs out here and the trades workers have been phenomenal to work with. Just going above and beyond anything you would expect.
You feel confident when it's all said and done that we do have a sizable earthquake, that this building will hold tight?
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see when we go upstairs, we've actually built shear walls that run all the way up through the building. So we've stiffened the building itself so that when that earthquake comes, the building, even if it does move, can now move and not crumble. So the new columns we're putting in are way stronger than anything that were here before.
Impressive.
The Capitol has been damaged by an earthquake before. In 1993, the Scotts Mills quake, which registered 5.6 on the Richter scale, rattled the Willamette Valley and the Oregon State Capitol, creating cracks in the rotunda. That quake was described as a wake-up call. In a 2013 report, the Capitol Master Plan Review Committee wrote, "The Capitol belongs to the people of Oregon, and the legislature has an obligation to protect and preserve it." It says if a major earthquake strikes, the Capitol will likely be destroyed and lives lost. State lawmakers approved the CAMS project in 2016, which will increase accessibility, address at-risk mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems, and improve security and life safety issues. Now let's it's been made since we recorded that interview last year.
Look at all the stuff you've done so far. I mean,
Here I am last year with construction crews standing underneath the Capitol. 16 months later, that same area looks so different. The historic Capitol is in its third and final phase of construction. The work has been going on since 2016.
tell me how things are going.
It's going great. We're hoping to wrap up in the next 6 months and get done with this project.
Tom Nealon is a field superintendent for Hoffman Construction.
You know, folks are going to be, when this is all ready to go next, spring or summer, I think I'm pretty amazed. What are some of the bigger things you think that they'll be impressed with?
Just all the historic finishes. First of all, we're restoring the building to what it, what was historically, and we're just adding a bunch of accessibility.
And then there's all the work being done to protect the 1938 Capitol in the event of the massive earthquake.
You've been in a lot of projects, I assume, in your day.
Yes.
Tell me how this one compares to the rest of them.
Probably the most complicated project we've ever built.
So all this grading is going to go on top of this.
That sentiment shared by Hoffman Construction Field Superintendent Mike Slawinski.
Compare this project to other ones you've worked on.
Massive, complicated, and very different.
Making sure this building survives an earthquake is, well, complicated, as you just heard from Tom and Mike.
Tell me what's going on down here.
So down below we have all these yellow seismic joint covers that eventually will be filled with concrete and granite. And what those do is they're hinged so that when the building can move during an earthquake, they can pop open and allow that movement to happen, and then they can close right back with no damage to anything on the building. And those covers will continue up the wall here and all the way around the building up at this higher elevation, and that keeps our 2-foot separation so the building can move during a seismic event.
So that's one of the big deals here, is that because we're trying to retrofit this for an earthquake, and this is a big part of that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we basically went through and we made the building more structurally sound. We did a lot of steel in the rotunda, shear walls throughout the building, and that makes the building solid, and then this allows the building to be able to move in the event of an earthquake.
That's incredible.
It's pretty crazy. So I think last time you guys were here, this didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
I think we had it all demoed from what I saw in the video.
Is one of the connection points between the 1938 historic portion of the Capitol and the legislative office wings that were added in 1977. Here's what it looked like last year. Look at the progress. As we go inside the Capitol, we head to a lower level of the building, an area most people will never see.
This is the utility trench. It runs from one end of the building to the other. And this was where you guys were last time, was about 5 feet lower than this on the dirt. So we poured back this foundation, and then you'll see when we get in here, we set the seismic isolators, then poured the floor, and then the walls back up to the existing building, and we pulled all the steel out.
I wanted to know more about the seismic isolators, so Mike filled me in.
And the best way to describe them is it allows the building to move 2 feet in any direction in case of an earthquake. And how they work, it's basically like 2 salad bowls with a big marble between them. So they can move, but they recenter once the earthquake's over.
And how many of those are in this?
We have 160 of those total underneath the building.
Where are we right now?
We're above where you were just standing.
As we continue our hike through this giant maze, we enter another area undergoing a major makeover. It's now called the concourse level. Used to be the basement. New name, whole new look.
So tell me what's going on here. Give me the scoop.
So this is going to be a new kitchen and eating area.
Tables in here, is this what you're envisioning?
Yep.
Okay.
All tables, servery area over here for people to eat, and then big kitchen.
This is an upgrade.
Yes, definitely. It's come a long ways from a hole in the ground where we were last time, right?
Right, no doubt about it. In addition to the restaurant on the concourse level, there will be a new lounge for House and Senate lawmakers, the first bicameral lounge in the Capitol. Also new to the concourse level, 4 additional hearing rooms. Before the renovation, there was only 1. It's now getting a big update.
What do we have here?
This is hearing room 50, historic hearing room.
CAM's project director, Jody Jones, fills us in on the room's significance.
So we're still in the 1938 building.
Okay.
This particular hearing room was here before, and it was the only hearing room that was down here on the concourse level. And what the hearing rooms are used for, much like the ones up on the first floor, which are A through G now, or A through H now, committee hearings happen in here. So when the public come to give testimony, that happens in a room such as this. And we added 4 additional hearing rooms down below so that we could get more involvement from the community and from the public when we are making legislative decisions.
What still needs to be done in this hearing room?
We're just working on getting all these finishes back in. We've got all this 9-wood product that's going to go on the walls for the wood wall finish, and then we've got all our countertops and casework going in for the dais platform. And we just get all our finishes done. Flooring will come in next, and then that's it.
The goal is to have a soft opening for this new concourse level on November 17th in time for legislative committee days. When we come back this morning, one of the most popular sites in the state.
From K2 News, this is Your Voice, Your Vote with Steve Dunn.
And welcome back to the program on this Sunday morning. We're going to continue our tour of the historic Oregon Capitol that's been undergoing major changes. It was built in 1938, needed updating for a number of reasons, including safety. Construction work has been going on for 9 years now. We're told it could be done in another 6 months. A lot of progress has been made since we last visited the construction areas last year. You'll want to see what they look like now. This is what the Capitol Rotunda looked like when we were here last year. Work underway from the ceiling to the floor. Seismic improvements were made behind the walls and all the way to the top of the rotunda. Here's a small portion of an interview from 2024. Bjorn Cloughton with SRG Partnership Canon Design is one of the architects on the project.
What's being done in this room? Can you tell me that in the rotunda here?
Well, right now there's been some work, some seismic improvement being done to the walls behind these murals, and that extends all the way up to the top of the rotunda. So there's new concrete and steel being installed up to stabilize and support the rotunda all the way up through and including the Gold Man. And then the work that you've probably seen downstairs with the new foundations and footing for the building to support all of the load of the stone inside. Last week,
Well, they'll go, wow, you know, this is incredible, the whole restoration.
most of what the visitors will see once they're into this space is they won't know anything that we did in behind. Really, all of the historic spaces, including the rotunda, the chambers, the exterior of the building will all look very much like it always has, and that's part of the historic preservation of the building. What's happening downstairs is definitely some newer space with new hearing rooms and a new restaurant, and those will feel new spaces, but you'll have to go and discover those. Your first impression walking into the building will be just as it was for the last 100 years.
This area, which had been closed since 2022, is now open for visitors.
People are going to be pretty amazed, don't you think, when they come back in and see what's going on here?
Oh, absolutely. They haven't been into the Rotunda since 2022, and so that's just such an amazing, awe-inspiring experience to walk into this great marble room, and the height of the ceilings and the murals, the history that surround us, the symbolism of our state. It is really something.
Stacy Nally, public outreach coordinator at the Capitol, told me school tours have resumed.
More than 20,000 school children come through this building annually for school tours, which was a really important part of this construction project, making this building safe for all the public that comes in it. I mean, not just us that work here, but 200,000 visitors a year that come through our doors. Now we have a safer, more user-friendly, usable building.
When visitors check out the rotunda, they'll see new LED lights for the medallions, making them stand out even more. I have to point out the canvas artwork that dates back to 1938. The murals remained in place during the construction work, but they have been cleaned, as have the windows surrounding the Rotunda dome, and another safety feature addressed.
And then both of these skylights are new skylights. We replaced old ones that were leaky, and then we added seismic clips and safety film to both of the lay lights. So if there's ever a seismic event, the glass can't crack and come down.
Before we move on from the Rotunda, here's something I found really interesting.
We have 3 different types of marble in the Rotunda, and of course the marble outside of the Rotunda, which I think is a really fun fact on our building. They use white Danby from Vermont, and that was chosen for its lack of water absorption. In the rain here in Oregon, as you can imagine, that would be really important to pick a marble that doesn't absorb a lot of water, because water equals weight, and when you have an entire building clad in marble, the less weight that it would absorb with the winter, the better.
We wanted to show you one of the ways the 1938 Capitol has been updated for the Americans with Disability Act. This ramp that leads to the Senate dais. When we were here last year, the Senate chambers looked like this. After plaster repairs and painting, it looks like this. Also, the dais has been returned to how it looked in 1938. And then there's the new and improved courtyard, currently under construction.
Used to be on the lower level, brought up to this first floor. So they're going to be able to access them right here off of the Galleria, east and west. There will be sculpture there, and a great place to just sit and relax and take a break before your next meeting.
Also now open in the Capitol, the gift store.
The old doors in the 1938 building have been repurposed. The marble from the exterior of the building has been used and repurposed for souvenirs, which limited edition and probably a short window to get.
You may have noticed the gold man is hidden from sight right now. Turns out he's having some work done. He's getting a partial regild. That work is supposed to be done in December. If you can't wait until then to see what he looks like, you can find a picture in the gift shop. The Oregon State Capitol will celebrate its 90th year in 2028. In case you're wondering how much it's costing to do all this work on a 1938 historical building, we're told it's almost $600 million. Before we end this tour, let's hear from Mike Slawinski with Hoffman Construction.
As we get our last look at this, and before we let you go, give me your final thoughts.
My final thoughts? Well, I'm proud to be a part of this project. It's been a journey. I've learned a lot. I've worked with a great team, and I think it'll be nice to go forward in life with the skills I've learned about seismic onto other projects. I'm sure, like we said earlier, there's going to be many more of them coming up.
Can you come to my house next?
We can do anything.
During my visit to the Capitol, I asked Senate President Rob Wagner for his thoughts on the CAMS project. I want to talk about the CAMS project. Many years, millions of dollars spent on this project. Biggest benefit to Oregonians as you see this thing unfolding now?
Oh, it's such a joy to have the front doors of the Oregon Capitol that are starting to reopen after all of these years. I think we have to understand that starting a few years ago, Capitol access and maintenance, this was one of the largest seismic improvement endeavors. We saved a building that is 90 years old, that was built on kind of a questionable foundation. And when you think about a big earthquake or something like that, we have now made this building something that's going to last for the next 100 years. So I'm so proud of it, and it's going to be wonderful. I really, when we get fully open, and now that the Rotunda's open, I really hope that people understand this is their building.
Still to come on Your Voice, Your Vote, the interviewer, me, becomes the interviewee.
Oh wait, Steve, before we end, I've got a couple questions for you.
As you know, you won't be seeing me as much on K2 in the new year. After 39 years here, I'll be hosting some special events for K2, but I won't be here every night. I plan to spend time on my passion projects. As host of Your Voice, Your Vote for nearly 14 years, I've interviewed hundreds of guests. Since I'm leaving, my producer thought it was only fair to give some of the people I've interviewed throughout the years an opportunity to ask me some questions. Here's Oregon Senate President Rob Wagner turning the tables.
I've got a couple questions for you. So you and I kind of share an interest in and golf.
Yes.
But you have had something called the Dunn's Duffers.
That's correct.
For a number of years. Can you tell me a little bit about the effort on cancer and why you got involved in that?
Well, you know, we started, gosh, 12, 13 years ago. I said, you know, we need to do something, because I like to play golf. I know you do as well. I'd like to have a tournament where we actually raise money to help out these organizations. So way back then we said, let's just find someone who needs the money. And so we did at that point. And then every year we try to change it up to try and help someone out different every year. And so it just kind of grew through the years. At first it was, I called my relatives, you know, you guys please come and play in this, and some of my friends. But then it got to be where people would call me up. They go, hey, can I play in the tournament?
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get you.
Yeah,
so
I'm waiting for the invitation. So, you know, you're going to keep doing it, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay,
We're going to
well,
keep
sign
it going.
me up.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Let me ask one more question. Congratulations on an incredible career.
Thank you.
By the way, when you think about the Oregon legislature and your involvement, do you have a favorite memory? Something that you can think about that you've had for the time that you've spent covering politics in Oregon?
Yeah, I love coming to this building, to be very honest with you. There's something about it that just kind of keeps you alive when you walk in here. But some of my favorite memories, of course, were Senate President Courtney and sitting in this office and just him give me a hard time from the get-go. And whether it was the tie I was wearing or my hair or the suit, and he'd always say, you know, Steve, I know you really don't like me. I don't even know why you're here. And, you know, you never come and see me anymore. And I'd walk out of there just really feeling infused with energy because of his energy and his charisma. And so every time we step into this place, there's just always something different. That's what's great about it.
You know, Peter was one of those people, if he wasn't giving you a bad time, you knew he didn't care about you.
That's exactly right.
And so the fact that he gave you a bad time, question after question, minute after minute, I think it shares the opinion. And I will just say, too, it shares the opinion of so many Oregonians with the incredible career you've had. Thank you for your service.
I thank you. I appreciate it very much. Senator Wagner was extremely kind to me in his questions. It could have been a lot tougher. I was sweating there for a little bit, I'll tell you that much. Thank you for that. That's it for today's show today. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.